seeing an RV and then an idea, and then have it metamorphosed into what we've got now. It's incredible. I love coming in every time and see this table behind me. That's one of my proudest moments is that table. And then just everything else. And the sandbox, it just seems perfect to me. And, what we need. And we might make one a little bigger next time. Depends on the distance the projector is.
Oh, yeah.
That makes a difference. I think it should be. So I couldn't make it too big. But it's just, I'm in awe every time I come in and see I produced that. And I know it's kind of selfish because it's been a team effort doing all of it. Because I just built it. They did the decorations, all of the stuff. See the graphics around here. That wasn't me. That was another incredible thing. So
you guys were also passionate about it. I like just talking to Tim. Every time I talk to Tim, I've got so much positive things. I love it. I do have one question, like how will maybe this one too, how will the future want to be funded? Like how will they pay for it? Like are the universities doing grants or something to help offset the cost, or is it like
probably a better question for Tim,
crowdsourcing?
but it will be, I'm hoping, and there'll be donations and then a endowment that will self-support it. But I'm not a money guy, so I really don't know how that's all really.
Well, the first step is letting people know all the cool things that are happening here so they know what the potential is, right?
Yeah. So Tim, I mean, if you could jump here, what is the cost to build one of these? Like ballpark, is it 250,000 to make something like this happen?
Yes, I would say probably about 200. I think we've got a really good deal from a great partner in Alabama called Bama RV.
Bama RV.
They were
All right.
amazing out in Opelika. So if you got any Opelika and Auburn friends, go out to Bama RV. Talk to Daryl. It's the band.
Daryl
He
and
is
Bama RV
crazy.
is the guy.
Crazy Cajun, LSU guy, just amazing. Taking care of us, doing the maintenance as well. So we did that for about 125, and then just all the materials, all the tech. We had some really great partnerships. A couple of big tech companies that I can't name on the air, but they donated a bunch of the stuff you see behind us. Just had a lot of really good partners. So we probably put in about 150, and then a bunch of donations in technology.
Love it. Okay. All right.
Good to know. I got, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Anything else you want to get out there? Anything else you want to get out there?
No, I just would like everybody to come see the RV, wherever you are, if we're across the country, come by and see it, see what we got here, and if you like what you see and want to see more, just donate, and we'll help build more.
Yeah. All right.
Love it.
That's great.
So exciting. Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Thank y'all.
Great job.
My first time here.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
So we're gonna get Dustin in here?
Yep.
All right.
All right. There's a lot going on over here. Sorry. It's a little
Okay, I see.
a little fun. There you go.
Hey,
Got a kiddo in here to experience.
Oh yeah, oh y'all. Hey buddy.
Hey.
So cool. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, Dustin,
You know the drill.
tell us who you are, who you're with, and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Dustin Braden. I'm a research associate over there. I'm a research associate at Auburn University.
Yeah.
I actually just started in May, but I've been working with Tim for several years as a consultant. So
Okay.
it's been really great to get here full time and get to work on this project with 100% attention.
Yeah. So talk about you say you're a consultant. What does that mean? Like what's the value you're providing to a project like this?
Well, that's debatable, but depending on who you ask.
We're asking you, so you can pump it up as much as you want.
Listening, so I can move it. So I'm a little bit of lots of fix that we see around us. I also was working a lot with Amanda Sabardo on a lot of the content standards and trying to tie the different stations to the Alabama State content standards and just make sure that it's relevant for students and teachers.
Okay.
Content standards. Had no idea. What's that today?
Yeah, and it's really important for teachers to make sure that when we say, hey, we really want this thing to come and visit your school, and we don't want this to be a Saturday event, we want this to be a middle of the day event where students are already in school. And the best way to do that is to make it relevant for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's really important. That's been Amanda really taking the lead on. But I've done some backup. I also have a background in GIS.
Oh, you did. I was gonna ask you, that's your background.
Yeah, and how has that helped your GIS background helping?
Yeah, well, I think as I started doing these graphics, I've seen lots of examples of other geography-based graphics for kids that are maybe either really boring or
Yeah.
poorly done or not relevant. So that's been kind of fun trying to find a way to communicate the science in a kid-friendly way. So we tried really hard to design all of the graphics from the logo to our mascot, Geo Cub, you can see around. We tried really hard to make it super kid-friendly and feel like a kid show. Some of the kids here playing. So I think that that's been a really interesting and fun part is trying to tie the science communication to Jared.
Yeah, and like you said, the graphics, I like they're very simple, but they represent exactly what you're wanting them to release.
And that's what's really fun too, is we do almost everything custom from, Tony doing the building to me doing the graphics to Amanda doing the content standards. So, we try to do everything in-house as much as possible. And I think that makes for a really good final product because we all are super familiar with every aspect of the vehicle and of the project.
So what are some of the challenges that when you experienced while putting this together?
Yeah, we've had lots of challenges, but all really good things. I'll just start off with one of my biggest. I've never designed an RV before. Right.
Yeah, the wrap is amazing.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you so much. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the wrap, but you never know when you're designing something on your laptop.
Oh yeah, how it's gonna be when it's 40-something feet long.
Exactly. So I was downloading schematics for weeks and we kept changing the model that we were going to go with. So I had to start, okay, now the door is on this side. So that was one challenge, but I think we've just faced, lots of the challenges of doing this for what is kind of the first time that we've done it is going through and getting everything done. 'Cause I think GeoBus was in restructured city bus, right? But in an RV, it's a whole different process.
You're right, it was different.
But you have a lot more opportunity to do more things, right?
Absolutely. More space, a lot of electricity already running through the system. Wi-Fi was already kind of easy to set up. So that made it a lot easier to get the ground running.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we couldn't live stream a podcast from the previous
I don't think so.
version, but this one, I think we might be pulling it off. I'm pretty sure.
480p, like super low.
Yeah.
So you said you joined the project in May?
Yeah, so I joined Auburn University.
In May.
And
Where were you?
I was actually instructor of environment in Iowa State University.
Okay.
So Tim and I actually both went to the same undergrad,
Okay.
and I went on to become an instructor then for.
Super cool. So like, at what stage was this project when you got involved?
Yeah, so well, I knew Tim from UCF, and I was actually working with him back then, and I was also working with him, kind of in his transition to Auburn University. So I've been involved kind of from a distance in Ohio from the very beginning, but unfortunately, I missed most of the build stage just because of timing with my semester and my students.
Yeah.
But I did. Tony mentioned I got to jump in at the very end and do the fun part of ripping stuff out and leaving the rebuild to him.
Nice.
So like, what's your favorite part?
I think my favorite part is I mentioned I'm working.
Yeah. What is Amanda's role?
So Amanda, she's our education coordinator. She's actually a teacher, and she also is a geoscientist. She graduated from Auburn as well, and so she has a really, really perfect background for this, and she's just helping us make sure that it's relevant for the teacher. But we're putting together these lesson plans so that at every station, the students will have something that they can work through, and it's kind of going to guide their thinking.
So it's pretty structured.
Yeah, it's pretty structured, but I think my favorite,
Not too structured.
right, not too much. My favorite part is probably while her and I are working on this, we're trying to leave room for them to ask their own questions and think through things. And we've done a few kind of test events so far. I think the best part is when you see that student directed learning where the students, or the kid is the one that's saying, wait, but what about this? And it's like, yes, exactly. That's exactly what we want to see. You're going off script, but in the best possible way.
Sure.
So that's my favorite part, just seeing their face light up and start to actually get curious. And that's such a big part of what we're trying to do here is get the kids to have this explorer mindset, this curiosity about the Earth system around.
Well, you've seen that a lot lately. You've been doing a bunch on the renovation with the kids up there and stuff. Yeah. That's gotta be like so rewarding for, it's like, see that happen, right? Yeah. It's cool that behind the scene, hopefully that will come to show them that, because, a lot of times they're not going to remember the equipment that you use But if you're a really good person and you show them some stuff, they're gonna remember you more than that great. I think that's the way to have a bus like this, yeah, really, drive the man up.
Yeah.
Dude, I think you touched on something so important there, like, obviously your personality, super passionate, Tim, you guys just have like a really good team. You can see there's a lot of good synergy there. You're all, paddling in the same direction and telling the same story. And I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to give Tim some credit here. It all starts from the top.
He's right here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, quick, great timing.
We can the ratings later. It really does though. And so we're very lucky to have a super great team and really great leadership from the top.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Anything else you want to get out there?
I have a question. What's it like traveling across the country with like 3 sweaty guys?
Well, it's stinky a little bit, but the kids are kind of stinky in here too. No, it's been a really great experience. We've stopped in so many different cities and kind of done these pop-up events in London. And I think it's been a lot of fun trying to stop in different cities and ask questions about, okay, what's here? What do we want to show people about this city that we're stopping in, really quickly?
Yeah.
And of course, the whole larger part of this event is trying to fundraise as we go. So I think that's been a really enjoyable part of this today, is kind of thinking through how can we get people to want to be part of this, because you can see the passion we have. We want to get that into as many people as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's so obvious that you guys are making some tremendous progress. Are you excited about the next ones? I mean, are you going to display the whole graph? I'm like the graphics manager or whatever for the future.
Yeah,
Geo Explorers.
So I hope to be really involved with all of these. I'm also kind of the lab manager of Geo Explorer Labs. So as we start to build out this network, I'll be really heavily involved with the future RVs, I hope. And I really enjoyed the process of trying to make sure that this network we build, that they can support each other, they can share resources and say, hey, our AC is going out, how do we fix this? Or, hey, the students aren't connecting with this, how do we do this better?
Yeah.
And I think as the network grows, it's going to be able to strengthen itself from the inside. So I'm really excited for that. And I'll be really heavily involved.
It's a plan to do other cool stuff, like you guys do like the coloring books and t-shirts, cool stickers with the characters and all this stuff. I mean, surely you got that rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. We have so many fun ideas with custom stickers that we can do. I think maybe even a kid's book. Anything we can do to take advantage of this really awesome brand that we're starting to put together and try to get kids excited about this stuff. I heard one of you mention earlier, the concern of like, what about people that this RV can't make it to?
Yeah.
And I really hope we can do more things for those folks, whether it's sending them something in the mail that's just a little hit that gets them excited about geoscience and the Earth system. So I think, that type of stuff will be really.
Yeah. You see guys doing another tour like this?
Yeah, I think so.
Once a year, like an annual Geo Explorer tour or something?
So we're hoping to have this in schools, once or twice a week, starting in September in Alabama. But yeah, we're definitely open. We have some conferences we're kind of interested in attending around the country. And I think all of these travel events, it's a really good way to shine the light back on Auburn and what we're trying to do, but also the network for this broader Geo Explorer Lab network that we want to make for more RVs, just like talking about this partnership with ASU.
Sure. Yeah. ASU would be like the natural partnership. Sure. So we know people there. I think we can help out there.
I think we could. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. What else? Anything else you want to get out there? You want to make sure the people know?
Yeah, I'll just say 2 things really.
Yeah, please take your time.
The first is I think we're really targeting especially 3rd through 6th grade students for the most part for this. And some events will go on a little bit on either side. But I think what's so important, Tim keeps telling us, is that this is a really important time for children when they're kind of deciding on their science identity. Am I good at science? Am I bad at science? Do I like science or not? And I think what's so important about this is, regardless of what they end up doing in their careers, we really want to make sure that we get them right at that critical stage to say, like, hey, you can be good at this, and this is fun, right? So I think that's one thing that is really important, and it's kind of informing everything.
So do you think that age group that you mentioned is that critical point?
I really
Like where you can really make an impression?
Yeah, absolutely. I really think so. And you start to see this when you talk to kids that age, right? That's right when you start to get those really strong opinions of, oh, I hate science, I hate math, right? And so what's so cool is trying to turn that around and say, but didn't you remember the RV that visited Geo Explorer Auburn, right? So I think that's a really cool part of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the technology too, now you can type together those technology, really. You guys, with all this stuff, you get to do this, this is the day that, this is the pathway in order to, from a professional, be able to use those tools.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can get students, going to their teachers or their principals and say, hey, we want an AR sandbox like we saw in the, in the Geo Explorer.
Oh, why don't we have a 3D printer at my school,
Those sandboxes are the biggest.
They're always, yeah. Inside, outside, it's really.
Oh, with the light back here, right?
Yes, with the light,
Yeah.
it's for this is.
More of a controlled environment.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Everything about it's awesome. I love it.
Dustin, appreciate you stopping
Thanks,
by.
Dustin.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
So much. Appreciate it.
You want to get Mark in here?
Good morning here.
All right, watch all the chords.
All right, gentlemen, we're gonna switch it up just a little bit.
Tell us about you.
Okay, Mark Roberts. So I'm a retired nurse paramedic with Lifeline for the past 30 years. And I decided, hey, I'm gonna get into GIS. And so
Wait
Yeah.
a second.
It sounds.
So, what did you like get something in the mail? Like, hey, Mark, think about the other options of GIS. Is that
Or
what,
retire.
what happened
So-
to get you in? What?
cool, that's a really good question. So the Nature Conservancy has some online courses and it. So I had just
Okay.
retired and I thought, this sounds interesting. Remote sensing for coral restoration. So I said, hey, Dr. So who do you know in Belize? Because I've been there since 1990 off and on. That's working with corals. And so he gave me the name. So I ended up in Placencia for the last 4 years. And so Tim and I have been crossing paths since then. And then 2 years ago, I decided that I was going to go ahead and finish a graduate degree in GIS. And so the people that I was with, I'm doing the underwater portion of photogrammetry of quantifying the amount of corals that are underwater. And so that's not what Tim does. What Tim does is the drone part and the geography part. So, and I saw I'm a little bit farther south in Placencia and he's in Hopkins. And I'm like, I want to work with you guys.
Yeah.
So 2024, I actually signed up with UCF and did a study abroad. And I was one of his students. Yeah, it was great. It was great. We crisscrossed the country of Belize, introducing everything to the students and then off to the Keys and doing our thing there. So I just want to say one thing about Tim is that he leaves no one behind. And so many people, they come into other countries or they do their PhDs, we call them parachute scientists, and then they never come back. They don't do anything with them. Tim has been working in Belize for the last 15 years.
Wow, yeah.
And so 9 of those years is with one of the young students that I think he's 24 now. And he was, I don't know, probably about 14 or so, started hanging out with them. We just got him through GED because he was not college bound. So that's the kind of person Tim is.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of person I wanted to hang out with. And so Belize is the international part that I work with him on. And then we just did a research project in Belize, mapping a lot of the different islands and looking at coastal erosion.
Oh, wow.
So that's with LiDAR, light detecting and ranging.
Mhm.
For sure.
Are you using some remote sensing for the coastal part of?
So I like that question because I have to have something to offer them, right? What am I going to offer Tim with GIS, right? He's got a PhD in it. So yes. So what I'm looking at is actually doing the remote sensing, the satellite portion, because I have my master's portion already handed to me almost this summer because we map so much, we have so much information in both LiDAR and RGB that's what I'm going to be focusing on. But I'm going to compare that to the satellite imagery using planet.com. And I believe Dr. He works here at ISU, but he also does a lot of the planet does. So it's Asner, Greg Asner,
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Dr. Greg Asner.
so I guess I'm backing up just a little bit, but why Belize?
So for me, my spouse is a linguist. She's an anthropologist, and she hobbles me when we travel to other countries. So I'm only speaking English, and they're in English speaking countries. So, and in addition, we were traveling to Australia, and it's just closer to work in Belize. And then when I got set up with Fragments of Hope out of Placencia, it's just I've just been going there for the last 4 years.
So talk about your involvement in Geo Explorer and.
So,
you know,
yeah.
Cross paths with Tim,
Yeah.
but how did it get to where you're with them?
So the first time I heard about Geo Explorer was Michelle Kwan, who was a figure skater. Yeah. So she was the ambassador to Belize. And we're, Tim's talking to her. He's a smooth talker, and he's like telling her about Geo's bus at the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, how are you going to get it down to Belize? And it's just, well, we'll probably drive it down. And she's like, oh, the heck with that. We'll have the Air Force fly it in. So I'm putting this out to President Trump to see if we can still get that, because I would love to see one of these systems off the back of a C5 Galaxy in Belize, because they do it all the time with ambulances and fire trucks. But yeah,
DJT is a big listener of the show.
So I hear, yes.
I think we're on.
Hey, what you always say, Ken, the first step is just to get it out there and manifest it.
so I heard you guys talking about, well, how do you fund this?
Yeah,
So the way you fund it is OPM. What's OPM?
what's
Other
OPM?
people's money.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's grants or donations. So I donated $5 for a partner, because I wanted to be a different partner. That was like $50,000. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's true.
I did like go to the website. Set different ways support the program and the effort, which is super cool. Like you even do as little as like that $25 donation.
Every little bit counts.
And what's that website again? Were you just here?
No, it was on the website.
So Citizen Science Open Reefs is where you can find all this information, and we're in process. So Tim has 15 years of information from Belize that is open source. And so all of the information that we collected this summer is going to be open source minus the Mayan temples, because that's under the ministries. And so we don't want that just out there to anybody. It's going to be, if you need access to it and you ask them, they'll probably give it to you. But all the other information is going to be open source. And I can't tell you how important that is from my aspect, because if I don't have imagery, I can't do my job. So with them giving the imagery out there open source, this is going to make it so much easier for other people to follow on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's not just something that just magically happens.
No,
You know?
no,
Like
no.
it takes
So,
coordination and
yeah,
money and,
yeah.
and professionals and then the whole thing.
So the corals are dying. Okay, so this last 4 years, I had the opportunity of working with Fragments of Hope. And they have been doing spectacular work. And this summer, they're in shock, because I stuck my nose under the water and most of it's dead. But what I told the director is that, you know what, you already did the work. The ones that survive are going to survive. And we just need to find those and get them to deeper water so that the next generation can have something to work with. And it's all around the world, not just Belize, but that's the second largest barrier reef, the Mesoamerican barrier reef in the world.
Next to the one in
Next to
The Great Barrier.
the Great Barrier.
And I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, they don't. And we used to say it was the biggest living barrier reef, because Australia, the Great Barrier Reef has been really being hit hard with bleaching. But now we're hitting it. I was in the water this summer, and I'm a diver also, so I wear a computer basically, a dive watch, and 90 degrees. So at 30 degrees Celsius, which is very close to 90 degrees, that's when the corals start bleaching. We've had 3 continuous years of this, and so they're not surviving. Well, some of them will survive, but not all.
What, John, I don't know if you remember this, but we talked to somebody who was mapping the Great Barrier Reef.
We did.
It was a lady. young
Yeah.
lady.
Dr. Karen Joyce.
It was Dr. Karen
Yeah,
Joyce.
Yeah. So she's been doing this for 20 years, and her passion was to map all of the barriers. So
Yeah.
so she's geonadair.com, and I'm going to put that out there because she was one of the first open source information where I could get that imagery. But
Okay.
it's all above water. Once you go underwater, you lose GPS, and so they're not working with that. We have to have a different system to map it.
Sure.
Yeah. Did Geo reference it?
You're right.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Spoken like a surveyor.
Yeah.
Is there any future on, because you talk about that threshold of temperature and then you talk about imaging, is there any GIS place where you're going to start mapping that temperature and you're kind of getting a little fancier
you
with the,
already put it out there, and it's called satellites. And so
and you can get the
satellites,
temperature
you can
stuff
get
from,
surface temperature. So you can't get the underwater
Okay.
temperature, but we already have nurseries underwater in the areas that we want to outplant the corals. So we source them from southern Belize because that's where the bulk of it is, and that's where we had people to actually do the work. And so we source those every summer. We map and we see who the survivors are. But and then we start fragmenting them and then outsourcing them to other parts in Belize. And that's how you get the reef going. Unfortunately, we are over that threshold. I know they're talking about the threshold. We are over it. There's no more time to talk. We're all due right now. So we are monitoring, but we're not outsourcing, because it's like putting planting a tree in an area that's it's gonna burn down. Why do it? It's gonna burn down. Okay, so if you haven't already done the work, then it's too late. So that's what we're doing is playing catch up with the corals worldwide, not just Belize.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We are over the threshold.
Hey,
We are
learn something
over
new
it.
every day.
Yeah.
And
mean,
and so I would just tell you the system is collapsing. And then some of the first people that are noticing it are the fishermen out there, right? Because
Oh,
more
yeah.
corals equal more fish. And so the fishermen, they will tell you, and that's what some of Dr. Hawthorne's students are doing. They're Belician, they're Garifuna, and they know the people, and they're talking to them and interviewing them and saying, hey, I am going to interview you, and this is what I have to offer you, and I'm not watering it down. Her words exactly. And so that way they'll talk to us and we can work together and maybe make them conservationists, because they're gonna have to do something, right? You can eat fish for so long, but if you can't catch them, they're not there, then what do you do?
Scary stuff.
And they're out there doing it, they're out there seeing it. And so that's what we're doing. That's what Tim's doing, is teaching the next generation.
Yeah. And that's why we're here.
That's exactly why we're here with this GeoBus, and it's gonna happen in Belize. When Tim says it's gonna happen, probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
And the
You can
next
tell
thing
exactly
will
what
be a research field station
Yeah.
in Hopkins, Belize. That's the goal. So that's why I'm here. I flew in from Pocatello, Idaho
Yeah.
to catch the ride on the magic bus.
Yeah.
We'll go out to do the
Are you gonna ride
GIS conference. I'm gonna ride. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna work with them and yeah, I did outreach with Light Flight, so I love
yeah.
doing this kind of work.
Well, you're great at it. Again, another passionate person, right? It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Got anything else?
Yeah,
Anything
anything
else,
else, Mark,
Mark?
you
you
got
wanna
there,
get
Mark?
out there?
I really appreciate you guys being out here doing this podcast, because this is gonna get the information out
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
And so, like Dr. Sylvia Earle says, the marine biologist, or Jacques-Yves Cousteau,
Yeah.
what you can't see, you can't love. But he puts it in the words, what you see and what you learn to love is where you're going to put your passions. And that's what Tim's doing.
Well said. Well said.
All right.
All right.
Mark,
Mark,
appreciate
thank you
everything
so
you're
much,
doing.
man.
Thank you.
Great
Thanks for
conversation.
stopping by.
Thanks.
All right. Who else we got now in the hot seat? Do we have yeah, the owner here? All right.
See,
Come in and sit down.
this is awesome.
Fancy hat.
Yes, of course. You can't do it without it.
Hold on.
Watch your sunglasses too.
I'm sweating.
I'm a runner.
Yeah, okay, you're fine.
Hey, Mark, you got any paper towel back there? I'm sure. All right, never mind. We're good. We're good.
Okay, so we start everyone off, same thing. Give us your name, who you're with, and what you do. And to let everyone know, we're in the parking lot of 100 Mile Road, right off the 202 here in Tempe, Arizona.
Weltering.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Yesterday I was looking at so I didn't feel it.
So tell us a little bit about how long has the brewery been here, and how'd you kind of get here? Okay. Sure.
Okay, this all makes.
Back in 2014,
Like looking at some box or something.
just saw, it actually was exiting that restroom. Across the hall, the lab door was open, so
Yeah.
in there, we saw a lab microscope. That was my album. After that, to open this room. That was my
Well, I mean, let's face it, brewing beer is science, right?
Oh, very much so.
it's science, yeast. Healthy yeast under the microscope is like it converts sugar to alcohol. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's also some science, it's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's gotta be, very, very clean.
So how did you pick this spot? Because one thing I've noticed is when you're on the 202, you can see what is that? Yeah, you can see the silo, and it catches your eye, and you're like, hey, there's something over there now.
Any building back in the 70s was a hotel. So this is kind of an anomaly. It's a very neat building. So we refurbished it and found it literally in a fluke. I used to sell brewing beer. And during COVID, I got around shifted on it. Economic development, site selection. So through that, site selection, I knew that Cushman Wakefield had a food and beverage advisory.
Okay.
So I literally called Cushman Wakefield, tell them my little dream, site selection is really really companies. Here's me party of one, I'm like, hey, you know, shits and giggles, right? It'll never hurt to ask. So I literally called them and told them where I wanted this location, what I was doing, you know, I think I might have a building that might fit. And it was ugly. It was a warehouse. It had old cars in it, dilapidated like Sanford and Son. Could not have been any uglier. And I turned around, I pulled up to the building, saw the unit. It's beautiful. So it's awesome. I had a vision and roll up garage doors. It's absolutely transformed it into light, right? I hear the word vibe every single day. Walk in, it's vibe. So
It's a great location.
Oh, it does.
we're hidden off the 202. We're tucked down this silo. It's a perfect location. We have plenty of parking.
Yeah.
In the middle of like centrally located.
Yeah.
East Valley to Phoenix. Yeah. And it's my old stopping ground.
Oh, yeah.
Are you an alum here? All right.
Yeah. So
So this relationship, how did Geo Explorer, how did this come about?
well, they just they sought us out.
Yeah.
And we're all about welcoming any locals or tourists and
Anything kind of cool and different and
anything cool and different in educational and science. So
Science, yeah, you're like, how can you
Right.
not do this?
Right. And so we're like, Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
let's bring him in.
I really love the story of I saw the microscopes, and that's what like kind of spawned this. And then you come here and it's an RV from the other side of the country, and they've got all this the
I
same
mean,
stuff.
literally when I walked in and I saw this, I'm like,
That's awesome.
yeah. So it's like,
Yeah. Well, you got a great spot here. I've been
Thank you.
here multiple times. Yeah, I'm half of that. I'm sure the big thing too. It's so nice that you allow this part of the RV here for the day.
What I'm always curious from your perspective, what advice would you give somebody that, you know, I think I've heard Kent say it about 17 times, like, oh, let's just totally start a bar and or make a brewery. We could totally pull it off. Like, what advice would you give that person? Because you've been able to do it. I mean, this place is great and amazing. So what do you think?
my advice. Sell goes back to science every year. It's fired on passion. It's all fired. The, the passion, you will make it happen. I was driven, like I said, I saw that microscope in 2014. And I never, ever once thought that it was not going to be for me. I was fueled on passion. I found money, I found the building, I found the people. That's 100%.
So
That's amazing.
Guys, we've been talking about that. About this project.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's like really that passion.
Right. I want to talk to H about collaborating.
Yeah. We would love to be part of that conversation.
We know we.
Doctor,
we're based
Doctor,
We also we may know a faculty or two that we can you know connect you with. Yeah.
So let's do it. Let's make it happen. Yeah, it's although I recommend air conditioning.
Like and we still pulled it off.
So good.
Outstanding. Very refreshing.
What else? Anything else you want to get out there?
You know what? Here's a statistic. I love saying this because I'm very proud of it. It was only 2.5% of breweries in the United States are solely women owned. And you're at one.
What?
You're in the parking lot of one.
We're in the parking lot of one of them. Actually, we went inside. It's amazing inside, but that is phenomenal. You should be really proud of it. I mean, that is awesome. I mean, I don't think Ken has done anything that has been only 2.5% of the people have been able to pull it off. So, but that's amazing. And if you could attribute, what's the one thing that you can attribute to your success or being able to pull this in? Well said. Especially when you're in a big metro area, like we are, it's still important, right?
People always. Water drivers now for whole program, which is homeless outreach. We offer water to, you know, gun shelter.
Yep.
We do, the Pat Tillman Foundation and
Oh, yeah.
charities. We're all about my why is community. And that brings people in, we take care of them, take care of our community.
And it'll take care of you, right?
So I don't always worry about everything, all the things in place and freshness and quality.
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
for your time. And
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Just, I guess, historical note.
Yes.
I'm always in this area. It was Club Rio.
Love
Halloween
Rio.
party, Club Rio, like.
At this building?
2000.
Yeah, you're dating yourself there, Will.
Good story. So coming to the brewery on the shelf, there's a picture that I grew up. I took it in 1982 when I was a freshman in the dorm. I pointed my cheap old camera north. I took a picture north of Manzanita And the Devil House is in that picture. And ironically, my brewery, the building, was built 1974, so you can see it.
No way.
Yeah, that's, six. I want to get the after.
That's amazing.
Oh, I never even thought of it. Thinking I have to. 13 to 6, yeah.
Oh, we'll just do it way more creepy. We'll just fly a drone outside their place. Yeah, right.
Or sense. All right, well, thank you so much. Again, this has been fantastic. And,
Yeah, I appreciate everything. It's amazing.
Going in to get another beer right now.
Yeah, that's a good timing.
Let's get one of these in ASU, Arizona.
Let's love it.
Innovation, #1 innovation for 8, 9 years.
Sounds like a good spot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was rapid fire.